1-800-388-3011.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Get Down to Business, the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And I'm thrilled to be joined by Nicholas Armstrong, a Senior Director for Research and Policy at the Institute for Veterans and Families at Syracuse University, as well as Mike Kelly, the Assistant Vice President of Military Advocacy at the USAA, which is working in partnership with the Institute for Veterans and Families. Thank you both, Dr. Armstrong and Mike Kelly, for joining us on Get Down to Business this Sunday evening.
Good evening. Fun to be here.
Fantastic. So I know you're working diligently on trying to work to turn veteran talent into a competitive advantage in areas of acquisition, deployment, and development. Tell us a little bit about your work at the Institute for Veterans and Families. Dr. Armstrong, please.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. So we've been working with USAA for several years now, and we just launched a new research effort this past fall to really dive into understanding how employers can make better use of veteran talent. Just for some background, of course, the private sector has done a lot of great work over the last 5 years in terms of making new hiring commitments to veterans, and in the veteran unemployment rates going down quite a bit. But more effort is particularly needed in terms of focusing on how veterans are doing in the workplace, particularly focused on retention and performance and things like that.
So, Nicholas, tell us a little bit about the IVMF. Tell us a little bit about why the IVMF is unique in the work that you're doing for veterans.
Sure. So the Institute for Veterans and Military Families was founded in 2011 at Syracuse University as the first academic institute in higher ed that really takes a broad, multidisciplinary view of helping veterans and their families, advance themselves from like an economic and wellness perspective. And so we offer both the education and vocational training programs, as well as do research. So we like to brand ourselves a bit as an action tank. So we do research, but we're also in the field providing educational opportunities, training to veterans or families, as well as supporting communities.
Well, fantastic work that you guys are doing at Syracuse University. Interesting and very unique. And I know we're also joined by Mike Kelly, the Assistant Vice President of Military Advocacy at USAA. And I know you're working closely with the Institute on many of these veteran issues. Why did USAA decide to partner together on both this research, but more important than the research, perhaps, is the advocacy on these issues?
Well, at USAA, the military culture is part of our DNA, and hiring veterans is a significant commitment for us. In fact, we were just at the White House last week and made another commitment to hire 5,000 veterans and spouses over the next 5 years as part of the White House's Joining Forces program. So it's part of who we are, but we also recognize that USAA, while we're growing, can't hire all the veteran spouses that need jobs. So our commitment and our strategy really is to help other companies learn how to hire veterans, and that's just the beginning. So hiring them is just the start of a company's commitment. And that's why we've worked with the Institute for Veterans and Military Families to build out these workforce readiness briefs that help companies build a strategy that goes beyond just the hiring and really dives into how to develop them and retain them.
Well, it's interesting because I know that the research that you've done, it's entitled Revisiting the Business Case for Hiring a Veteran, which, as you're saying, is just the first step. But one of the comments that you've made is about how to fully leverage veteran talent. So either of you, I'd be curious to hear your perspective on what is the veteran talent that can be fully leveraged. What is the business case for hiring veterans? We love veterans. We care about their service to our country, but business is business. We're running companies.
That's right.
What can a veteran provide to our businesses and to our companies here in the Chicagoland area?
You want to take a stab at that, Nick?
I'd be happy to. So just a few years back, the IVMF published a short brief called the Business Case for Hiring a Veteran. And so in that brief, we outlined basically 10 high-level reasons why veterans are valuable to companies. And this is all based in research, but typically if you look at a veteran, they're entrepreneurial, they exhibit high levels of trust coming from the military. They're adept at the skills, especially like the leadership skills, the experiences that they learn through their training. They're very adept at being able to apply that in very different environments, and even risky or even high pressure environments. Are very comfortable in those types of scenarios. They often bring advanced technical training and are resilient, and they work well in teams, and they're can take leadership roles when leadership is necessary, but also be good teammates.
Well, so that would explain why, as you're saying, why veterans make for a good addition to companies, and as you say, revisiting the business case for hiring a veteran. So, great work at the IVMF, the Institute for Veterans and Families at Syracuse University, and of course the USAA for advocating on these issues. We are going to have to leave it there, but I know there's a lot more information. Of course, the USAA website. We've shared that website many, many times, but also vets.syr.edu is a good website for people to check out, and there are different papers available about workforce readiness and veterans. So Nicholas Armstrong, Mike Kelly, thanks for joining us and Get Down to Business.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, after the break, we're going to be talking about ways that some small businesses can save some money. We know that's something that every business wants to do, try to be as cost-effective as possible. So once again, a lot more tips, advice, and information for all of you after the break. Don't touch the dial. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship.
Great town.